Good morning, dear students. So we are again here with our favorite mentor, Supriya, who has been mentoring lots of CA students with us. And today we'll be specially focusing on how do we, prepare for May 24 examination, especially from the angle of stress and time management. I think these are the two top most difficulties that students have been saying, we're not able to manage time or we are stressed out because of the examination. So Supriya will be giving you a lot of tools, tips, tricks, meditation. All of them are available. If you have any specific doubt, she will help you. She herself is a chartered accountant, so she understands, what goes into preparing for a CA examination. So I'll not take much of the time. I'll just hand it over to Supriya. Supriya, over to you.
Yes.
I'll just make you the host, and then you can
Yeah.
continue.
Thanks, Suraj. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I'm the host now. Yes. I can see. Okay. Suraj, I cannot hear you. You muted yourself.
Oh,
Yes.
sorry. So just for the students, make the best use of this session. This can actually change the way you prepare for your upcoming examinations. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Suraj. Okay. Good morning, everybody. How are you all? How is everybody? Yes, I see people coming in. Okay. Hello. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I hope you all are having a lovely Sunday, right? Preparing really well for your upcoming exam. Okay. So before we start with this entire thing, I'm sure you all are very much aware of about the topic, and the topic is time and stress management, specifically for your May 24 attempt, right? Great. Okay. So before I, start with this entire thing, okay. Hi, Ravi Teja. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, all of you. Okay. So before, good morning, Bully sorry, I don't know if I'm getting your name right. Yes. So before I start with this entire thing, let me just ask you all, how stressed are you currently? Can you just tell me how stressed are you? You know, are you very, very stressed, less stressed? What is your stress level currently? On a scale of 1 to 10, if I ask you to rate your stress level, what is the current level of stress? Yes, can you all tell me? Hi, Siddesha. Yes, can you all just type in the chat box your current stress level? Okay. Hi, Vinod Kumar. Yes, on a scale of 1 to 10, can you all quickly rate? If you're very, very stressed out, you can give yourself a 10. If you're less stressed, maybe a 2, 3, depends on you completely. Yes. Varsha is saying 8. Gautam, 7. Hi, Vijay. Vijay, I want you to quickly rate your stress level on a scale of 1 to 10. Ravi is saying 9. Okay, Alina, 9. 8. Supriya Bhatta is saying 8. Siddesha is saying 6. Vijay Sarthi is saying 9. Yes, so I understand the stress levels are really high at this point of time, and there's no one who is not stressed, or we would have taken specific tips from him too. Yes. Hi, everybody. Hello. A lot of people are joining in now. Great. Yes. Okay. Lovely. So now that a lot of you all have joined in, and I understand the stress levels today are really high, what I can tell you all is if you are there with me in the next 45 minutes, you will get a lot of tips to help you increase your stress levels and how to manage time. See, to be very honest, you have a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of things to tell you how you're managing stress, how to manage time. But first, we will come to the root cause of stress, and then we will understand that how we can manage it. Because once you know the root cause, it is easier managing things. Right now, before I start with this entire thing, I want to know how many of you all know me, right? Or should I give you all a quick introduction about myself, because I've conducted so many webinars here. How many of you all already know me? Yes? Have you all attended my webinars before? Do you all know me? I can see a lot of my students also. Indigo Learn students are here. Yes. A lot of you all are still responding. Okay. The stress levels are 8, 6.5, 9. Okay. Fine. Fine. Okay. So the next thing, how many of you all know me? Have you all attended my webinars before? Okay. Someone is saying no. A lot of you all know me. Yes. Okay, great. Okay, so let me just give you a very, very short, quick introduction about myself, right? I am CA Supriya Samant. I cleared my CA in May 2011, and I was working in the consulting sector with 5+ years in PwC. I was in the field of taxation. In 2018, we co-founded Antarlaksha. Now, this entire reason to start this venture was me being a CA student myself. I always thought that, if there was somebody to manage, to help me uh, manage my mindset, my stress levels, to help me strategize better. See, we truly believe that each individual is different, and that's why we do a lot of one-to-one mentoring and group mentoring, because everybody is unique and so are their strengths and weaknesses, right? So this program was started to help you increase your productivity, improve your mindset, and help you strategize really well, because you have the best resources, but it is on you finally to study and put in your best efforts, right? And I'm also an International Coaching Federation certified coach. So this helps me deal with the student problems in a much better way, right? And so far, I've impacted more than thousands of students through one-to-one mentoring, and through like webinars. There have been numerous, you can say more than 10,000 students that way, right? But one-to-one, 1,000 plus, right? So now that you all know about me, you all must be very well aware that I run the highest rated mentorship program on Indigo Learn itself, right? And so far, I've received more than 300 plus testimonials through various sources, right? And it's been a great journey so far. And I really hope that you all also benefit from this session, and it really helps you manage your time and stress better, right? Okay. Now, as I told you all, first we need to come to the root cause of the issue, right? That why is someone stressed? So, I don't know if you attended a session that I conducted in November, and you have seen this meet your mind. So, we talk about your mind again, right? Mind, because everything to do with stress, time management is connected with the mind, right? Now, this is Mr. Mind. So, because none of us have actually seen how the mind is, this is the way, this is Mr. Mind basically, right? And currently, your mind is busy doing numerous things: reading, listening, studying, checking WhatsApp, worrying, daydreaming. Yes, too many things your mind is busy doing, right? Okay. Now, where does this exam stress come from, right? Now, to help you understand this better, let me explain this to you with the help of a very, very simple example. Okay. Okay, tell me, which was the last movie you saw in the theater and you really, really liked the movie? I want your responses, right? Can you tell me which was the last movie you saw and you really loved the movie? You really liked the movie? I'm waiting. Okay, Animal. Okay. And you loved it, Prajwal. Okay. What about the others? Which was the last movie and you really, really liked? Any movie you saw in the theater and you really liked? Okay. Hanuman. Okay. Okay. And I'm getting a lot of responses. What a lot of them are saying Hanuman, 12th fail, Salar. Okay. Fine. Fine. Okay. A lot of y'all have seen 12th fail in the theater, Salar in the theater, Salar. Okay. Fine. Now, what was happening when you were watching the movie? Tell me how many of you wanted to go directly to the end and see what happens in the end, or you were so engrossed in watching the movie and in the process, right? So when you were watching the movie, no part of your mind was like, I want to stop this movie in between and just go to the very end. What I'm trying to tell you is your mind was completely focused on the process, on enjoying the movie, and hardly any part of it was thinking about the outcome of this entire process, right? Absolutely. When you're in a movie, you're just enjoying it, you're being there, and a very little part of your mind is thinking about what will happen in the end or whether I'll enjoy the movie or not. You are completely engrossed in the process, right? Now, as against when I'm preparing for my exams, what happens? What happens when I'm preparing for my exams? Focus on process is 40%, focus on outcome is 60%, right? So my mind is so busy thinking about what will happen, how will the exams be, will I clear with the new syllabus, what all is going to happen, will the paper be really difficult, will the pass percentage will be lower than 9% also this time, and too many things. And if you see, focus on process is a smiley and focus on outcome is a sad face, because most of y'all, when y'all are thinking of the outcome, you are thinking of all the negative things that are possible, right? So stress arises during exams because only half of your mind is focused on the process, and rest half of it is busy thinking about the outcome, and 90% of it is all negative, right? So you're thinking all the negative things that can possibly happen to you, right? So that is where the stress arises. Now, here is what you have to do to reduce stress. Focus on process more and outcome lesser. That would be the ideal state of mind. If I'm focusing more on the process, obviously a little part of my mind will think about the outcome. That also I'm going to tell you how you can help or deal with your stress and anxiety level when you focus on the outcome. But focus on process should be 90% and outcome should be very little. So basically using the remaining time to focus more on the process, and second thing is reduce focus on what will be the outcome, right? Now, how to focus better on my study process? How do I get this right? Right? How do I focus more on the process? Right? So first we'll talk about making the focus on process better. Second, reducing the stress levels, focusing lesser on the outcome, and how do you come to that? Right? Now, when I talk about focusing on the process and managing my time effectively, right? How do you manage your time? First, see, you need to set your targets, your weekly targets, that this is what I have to achieve in the upcoming week, right? See, what happens is when you should have a broad level plan. Yeah, that in the next coming 1 month, this is what I have to do. But you need to, it's very important that you have a weekly target, right? And you define that what is the best case scenario, what is the best case study time that I can achieve, and the worst case. See, those of you who are completely dedicated to studies, 8 to 10 hours every single day is very much manageable, right? But especially those of you who are doing your articleship, when it gets difficult to manage your studies with your articleship, a very important thing that you need to do is to set a weekly target. So set your best case. So best case, for example, I will study 60 hours in a day, giving you an example, 60 hours in a week, sorry, right? And worst case, it cannot go below 40 hours, right? So what you have to do is in a week, you have to target to get those 40. There will be days when articleship is really stressed out, and you went at 8 and you came back at 10, for example, 10 or 11 at night. So on those days when it was not possible, try at least studying half an hour or 1 hour, if half an hour possible, because the continuity will be maintained. Otherwise, what happens when you take a break and you come back to studies, it gets really difficult, right? So if your target is 40 hours minimum, what you have to do is those days which you could not study, right? You have to compensate on the weekends or stretching yourself in the next days, right? Next 2, 3 days. But you ensure that I will never go below my minimum set limit. So I will never go below the worst case scenario, and I will try to come to the best case scenario, right? Now, the key lies here in getting the consistency right in the first 3 to 4 weeks. So if you're able to achieve this target, like 40 hours, 40 hours, 40 hours for the week, right? I'm talking about working professionals. If for those of you who are completely dedicated, your number of hours are automatically going to be much, much higher, right? So once you get it right for those 40 hours, that is the time in the first 3 to 4 weeks, your habit is going to be set, and then it's going to be easier for you to set this consistency. So always setting any habit, it takes a month or so, right? So once you get it right for the first 4 weeks, you will be able to achieve it. Third, use a tracking framework to track how you spend your time, right? So there are so many tracking frameworks available online. You can download any of it. For my students who undergo the one-to-one mentorship, coaching, and training, they have a specific track sheet that is provided to them, and they send the report to me. But for others, what you can do is simply have any tracking framework which will help you keep a track of your time. So what happens is once you have a tracking framework, you know what is the actual availability, what is the time that I have on hand, and how am I using my time, right? Next, find yourself an accountability partner. Now, why it is very important? Accountability partner could be anybody. It could be your friend, it could be your mentor, your guide, or even your parent, right? So when you know that somebody is there to monitor my studies, to monitor my progress, automatically you try to put in better and better efforts. So very important you find yourself an accountability partner. So that is what I do for my students. I am the accountability partner, and when they know that that there is somebody who is monitoring my studies, monitoring my progress, you tend to put in better and better efforts. Fifth, dividing study sessions in shorter slots, right? I highly recommend that you could have a 40 minutes slot, take a 5-7 minutes break, again a 40 minute slot, right? And then you may take a 10-15 minutes break. So totally you've studied for around 1.5 hours or so. Now, what is very important is in those breaks, you're not doing anything which is consuming your mind. So no YouTube, no social media, no Netflix and all in these short breaks, things which will completely relax your mind. That is what you have to do in these short breaks, right? What happens is when you do it this way, you don't feel very tired at the end of the day, and the study sessions are very, very productive, right? Next, now, if I am studying full day, then how do I make my day more productive? So what you can do is you can take a difficult and a easy subject per day, right? So we all have the time in the day when we are very, very productive. In that productive time, so if your mornings are extremely productive and second half is less, then what you could do is mornings you could take the difficult subject, and in the second half the easier one. So what happens? You're spending your day also in a much, much productive way, right? So the day gets utilized very, very well, right? Okay, so far with me? Okay. Now coming to the second thing. Now, how exactly are you supposed to, divide your time? So now you have your, around 80 days or so, right? So how am I supposed to divide the balance time, right? So currently, first and foremost, you have to ensure that your conceptual understanding is very, very strong. Whatever concepts you're doing, just don't watch a video lecture and, feel that it is done, my portion is over. No, after every video lecture, go through the notes, go through the module or whatever you're going to study, and try and solve at least one question of each type. So basically understanding and testing the application of knowledge, right? Because just seeing the video lectures and understanding is not enough. You need to see whether what you studied, are you actually understanding it also, right? And are you able to apply your knowledge also, right? Next, subject wise revision, right? So minimum 2 revisions. I highly recommend that at least 2 revisions are required because our syllabus is so vast, right? You cannot just study once and write a paper. Once you're done with the conceptual understanding phase, plan revision. And after first revision, you write 100 marks test, right? And at least one revision, I want you to do it in the exam style, right? So exactly in the alternate days, like the same way how your exams are, I want you to write one set of paper so that you have your markings ready, that this is extremely important and I need to clear, I need to cover this. Second, second thing is that you are also ensuring that you know what how you're covering the portion, right? So what I'm doing after I'm coming back from the paper, the next whole day that I get, and the morning time that I get. uh, I'm getting a lot of questions. I will ask, I have a Q&A in the end. So please ask me all the questions in the end so that it's better and all are answered so that no question gets missed. Okay, fine. And about mock tests, why they are so important is because only when I write a mock, I understand where is it that I stand, what are my areas of weakness, right? So very, very important that you write mocks and minimum two mocks. That is what I highly, highly recommend. Another important thing is in your revision phase, even if you're not writing a 100 marks paper every day, make your body and mind used to sitting, in the 2 to 5 slot at one place and solving questions, right? So whatever questions you have revised the previous day, take random questions and try to solve. Maybe if you're doing two subjects, maybe divide it in 1.5 hours each and try to solve different questions so that your mind and body is getting used to sitting at one place and putting in your best efforts and full concentration. So it is important that it's in 2 to 5 slot only, because see, like I can give you a cricket example. If your match is at in the evening and you've been practicing the whole day but you're not used to the evening time, then if whatever efforts you have put in, if you are not able to perform in that evening slot, it's going to be really difficult, right? So very important, in 2 to 5 make it a point that you're doing dedicated writing practice every single day in your revision phase. If you cannot sit for 3 hours to you're not able to write for 3 hours, at least 1 hour you write and rest 2 hours you ensure that you're sitting there and you're studying, right? Because nowadays our attention span has gone really, really down. We scroll through Instagram, we scroll through YouTube shorts. In 5 seconds, we are just scrolling, right? And you have to sit at one place for 3 hours paying complete attention. So please condition your mind and body for that, right? And another important thing, every day start doing half an hour MCQ practice, because now 30 marks MCQs, be it practical, be it theory, and they're going to be case study based. And you already have so many MCQs on ICI, even Indigo Learn has MCQs. So make it a practice every day, spending half an hour, right? So that there are not too many MCQs in the end for you to solve. Like whenever you feel that I'm very bored, I don't want to study something new, whatever chapters you have done, you can do half an hour MCQ practice every day, right? Okay. Now another important thing is to make whatever time you have really, really productive, right? So this is a simple, very simple technique to help you condition your mind, to help you study better. Now why do I need to condition my mind? Okay, let me explain this to you with the help of a very, very simple example, right? Imagine that there's a lake, okay, and it's very turbulent because there's a very big storm that is going on. Okay, are you able to imagine this? Right now, what I want you all to do is imagine in that turbulent lake, a big rock has been dropped inside. Right now, what will happen? In the next few seconds, will you even realize that a big rock had been dropped inside the lake? No, because it was very, very turbulent, because it was very, very windy, right? You didn't even realize that though the ripples were created, but it didn't create any impact. You didn't even realize that a big rock had been dropped inside, right? As against, imagine the next day when everything is calm and composed, the lake is calm, right? You drop a small pebble inside. What will happen? You will be able to see perfect ripples being created. Why? Because now the lake is absolutely calm, right? So even a pebble is creating that impact. That is exactly what happens with your mind, right? Just a second. So with your mind, that is what happens, right? When my mind is cluttered with negativity, worry, overthinking, Even if I'm studying, I'm not able to absorb things, right? As against if my mind is completely calm and composed, automatically I'm going to be able to, absorb all the information. I'm able to study better, understand better, and retain better, right? So this is known as the alpha state of mind. So basically, alpha state of mind is the state of mind wherein we are most receptive to whatever we are studying or what we are taught. Basically, in human beings, we naturally used to be in the alpha state of mind during the age of 7 to 14. So whatever people have told us in that age, the positive things, the negative things, they have stayed with us. If somebody's told you you are very, very confident, you will be very successful, you're very hardworking, that has stayed. If somebody has told you that you're very lazy or any negative thing, that has created a belief in you. So basically, alpha state of mind is extremely, it helps you absorb things better. You are naturally in an alpha state just before going to sleep, and when you are about to get, like once you get up, that time period of half an hour or so, you are in that receptive state. So this state is very, very useful when you want to get into, like, just before studies. If you do this, one, your mind will be very calm, composed, like that lake, and whatever is put in, the information will be absorbed, right? So let's talk about how you get into the alpha state of mind. There are many techniques. So in my one-to-one sessions, in the mentoring sessions, I have a lot of meditations, mindfulness exercise, and a lot of things, audio files which help them get into the meditative state and into the alpha state, which helps them study really well. But currently, I can give you a very, very simple technique which anybody can use, right? It's known as the back counting technique to get into the alpha state of mind. So what you need to do is very, very simple. You need to simply, close your eyes, keep your eyes closed, maybe do some, pay attention to your breath for 10 to 15 seconds, and then you start back counting. You can start back counting from 100 to 1, right? 100, 99, 98, 97, very, very slowly, keeping your eyes closed. And when you reach 1, what you do is whatever is the issue that you face while studying, maybe it could be consistency, or it could be your attention is not at attention level is not good, your attention is all over the place, or you cannot sit for long hours. Whatever you want to achieve regarding your studies, you tell yourself as if it's actually happening. So you tell yourself that my study hours are very productive, I am able to sit for long hours, or anything which is very, very specific and personal to you, right? So once from 100 to 1 you have reached, you can go to, you can try and make your affirmations to yourself. And once you're done with the affirmations, when your mind is completely calm and relaxed, what you do is now you can count 1 to 5. So 1, 2. When you reach 3, you tell yourself that when I open my eyes, I'm going to be absolutely fresh and energetic to really study well for my next session, right? So this is a technique which you can do. Maybe in the morning before one set, like, your morning session, you do it once. Again, the evening session, you can again do it once, right? So it will help you condition your mind and help you come to that state of mind wherein it's very, very receptive to whatever you're studying, right? So, what I can tell you all is it is a very, very simple technique. Initially, you can start with 100 to 1, but later on, if you think I can do it from 50 to 1, also, you can just start back counting from 50 to 1. Now, I personally have reached a stage wherein I can, come to that alpha state from 5 to 1, just in 5 counts. But initially, I will highly recommend you start from 100 to 1, right? So so now that I've told you all about how you come to this state to be able to study better and to make your process better, now we will come to the second part, how to reduce focus on outcome, right? It's a very, very simple, effective techniques which can help you manage stress, and techniques which can done, you can do it any point of time, and it can be done by anybody, right? Okay, fine. So first and foremost, the first technique is box breathing technique. It's a very, very simple technique. The good part of it is that it can be done anywhere, anytime, and it can be done by anybody, right? So basically, the box breathing technique is something which will help you. So imagine you're traveling and suddenly you are having a lot of negativity or a lot of negative thoughts. It will help you change your mindset and help you become calm and relaxed. So can we all do the box breathing technique? I'll just teach you all once. This has to be done minimum for 3 minutes. So you keep doing it, this entire technique. It's a cycle, right? So how it is to be done, let me just explain this to you. Basically, it has 4 steps, right? So first thing, breathing in for 4 counts. So I will give you all the instructions. Let's all do it together now. So just for 2-3 seconds, just observe your breath. You may close your eyes and just simply observe your breath, right? Okay. Now breathe in for 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have inhaled for 4 counts. Now you hold your breath for 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you exhale or you breathe out for 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, what you do is keep that empty breath for another 4 counts before you breathe in. So hold that breath. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. So that is one cycle. Now you will again do the same thing. So basically inhale for 4, hold on for 4 counts. Third is exhale for 4 counts. Again, hold on to the breath for 4 counts. So this is a very, very simple technique, but it has tremendous benefits. The only thing is you have to do it continuously for 3 minutes, right? So this cycle has to go on and on. Once you do this, you will see that automatically you are much, much calmer, you're much, much composed, and you will see a difference in your mood, right? Okay. So this was the first technique. It's known as the box breathing technique. Now, second technique is the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is one of my favorite techniques, and you would like, if you attended my webinars, you would have heard about this before also. But let me tell you something. This is extremely, extremely effective, and it helps you change. If your mind is very, very cluttered, it helps you just come back to the present moment, and it helps you again focus on the things that you're doing. So this is known as the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique, wherein you use your 5 senses, right? So we'll all do it together. I will tell you all and you can do it, right? First, notice any 5 things you can see. So any 5 things, you observe one thing for 10 seconds, then you move on to the next, right? And it could be a very, very small thing, like even a simple crack on the wall, you can observe. The smaller the thing, the more attention you will pay, right? So let's do it. First, 5 things you can observe. So observe the first object for 10 seconds. Now observe the second object for 10 seconds. Now observe the third object for 10 seconds. Now observe the fourth object for 10 seconds. Now observe the fifth or the last object for 10 seconds. Okay, so 5 things that you could see. Now 4 things that you can feel. Whatever the sense of touch, maybe where you're sitting, what you're wearing, or where your back is rested, where your feet are rested. Just observe 4 things that you can feel, the sense of touch. Okay. Now notice 3 things that you can hear. Any sounds that you can hear. Birds chirping, horns honking, or It could be the AC sound, the fan sound. Just try and pay attention. What are the sounds that I'm able to hear, right? Second, now two things that you can smell. Just try and observe, is there any smell around you, any fragrance, any flower fragrance, or any perfume fragrance, any smell, anything, any odor, anything that is around you. Just pay attention to this. Now, last thing is one thing you can taste. Anything that, any taste you're getting in your mouth, try and pay complete attention. Yes. So this is basically the 5 4 3 2 1 technique. What happens, the logic behind doing this technique is, when I am cluttered with thoughts, but when I start paying attention to all my senses, it helps me bring my attention to the present moment, and it helps me break my thought chain. Automatically, you will feel after this that your mind is, much more calmer, composed, and it is less cluttered. You are able to do what you were doing. You're able to focus on what studying or whatever, whichever activity you are doing, right? Now, this is also very effective. You can, before every study session, you can do this, because in a break, you tend to, your mind tends to go all over the place. You tend to get engaged in a lot of things. So this can be done every time before you start your studies. So you've taken a break, you've studied, taken a break, now you've come back to studies. That point of time, just quickly do 5 4 3 2 1. It will take you 1 or 2 minutes, and then you can start with your study, right? Okay. Now the next thing, final breathing technique. So let me tell you a story behind it. So this technique I have been teaching all my students, and one of my students, inter student, right? So during his tax exam, though he knew the subject really well, suddenly he blanked out and he got really, really nervous, right? And that time he remembered that I told him that you do the spinal breathing. It will help you calm yourself completely. He, in the exam hall, in between the paper, he did this for like 2 to 3 minutes, like 10 to 15 times. And after that, his mind was completely relaxed and he could actually score a 57 in TAT, right? So this is a very effective thing. This technique you can do anytime you're feeling very anxious, very nervous, or you're not getting sleep at night. This technique will help you even fall asleep, right? And I highly recommend, before you reach the exam, like once you reach the exam hall, please stop studying. Whenever you leave your house, no studying after that, while traveling and all. Reach the exam hall before. First, just calm yourself down and do the spinal breathing, and then only, start with your exam, start with your paper. Because the more calm and composed you are, the heartbeat is normal, the better you will be able to think and apply your knowledge, right? Now, how do you do the spinal breathing? Again, let me do this with you all once so that you understand how it is to be done. Okay. So you may close your eyes, right? First, take 5 to 6 deep breaths, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now just concentrate and focus on your breath. Let all your attention be on your breath, right? Now, when you inhale, now you imagine that you're inhaling and your breath is going from the beginning of the spine to the very end of the spine. Your spine begins from at the end of, from your neck to the very end where you're sitting, right? So your spine is that long. Imagine the breath is going from the beginning to the very end of the spine, right? So feel like breathing is taking the path of your spine like a hollow pipe to reach the belly. Maintain the focus on breathing until it reaches the base of your spine. Now you can hold on for a few seconds. Now you imagine that you're exhaling from the end of the spine to the very beginning, right? From end of the spine to the beginning. And you just follow this breath. See, initially this you will actually not be able to feel the breath. This will be done on imagination basis, but as you keep on doing it every single day, you will actually be able to feel your breath going from the beginning of the spine to the very end. You need to do this cycle 10 to 15 times, and you will see that if you're feeling very, very anxious and nervous, your anxiety and your nervousness would have gone, right? Okay, so today I taught you all very, very simple techniques which you all can do, and it will help you change your state of mind, it will help you become calm and composed again, right? Okay. Now I'm already having so many questions. So let's move on to the Q&A then. Yes. Okay. So the first question is, uh, Naga Vasmi Reddy. Naga Vasmi Reddy is asking me, is it possible to clear both groups if we start from scratch? To be very honest, at this point of time, because you have like 80 days, both the groups is difficult. I will highly recommend you do one group and do it well, because you have to do the conceptual understanding phase, then you have to move on to revisions and also write papers. So this takes a lot of time, right? So I will recommend that it's good if you could um, ensure that you are doing one subject but doing it really, really well. At the most, what you can do is the next group you can do one more subject where you can aim for an exemption, right? But according to me, doing all the subjects at this time, if you're doing it for the first time from scratch, it's difficult, right? Next is, how much sleep is required at this time? See, honestly, very important is that you get your required sleep hours of 7 to 8 hours. I tell my students that even when you are having your exams, please, please don't compromise on your sleep, because see, your mind and your body needs that rest. Because what happens is, if you don't get enough sleep, your next day is not productive and the cycle continues, right? Sleep is very important. 7 to 8 hours sleep is manageable. If you're studying, you're using your day well, you can sleep for 7 to 8 hours, still make your day extremely productive. So, what I'm trying to tell you is that please try and sleep for 7 to 8 hours. Make a routine. Try to stick to that routine. And if you're taking your afternoon nap, like half an hour or so, it's absolutely okay. But very important, please don't sleep in the 2 to 5 slot, right? Anytime in that slot, you have to make your mind and body used to that timing, wherein in that time, 2 to 5, you're sitting at one place, you're studying or you're writing, but you're there at one place and paying complete attention. Okay. Nagar Basmi Reddy, Mamsi Reddy is saying that you finished accounts and costing. Okay. Okay, fine. So if you finished accounts and costing, so you have 4 more subjects to go. So I will still recommend that you take a call that, exactly, do you have any strong subjects or a weak ones, right? So I will have, what I can say is, you take and you see the 4 subjects, how many video lectures are there, how many hours are there, are you studying or you are at home, as in, are you studying or do you have your articleship also with that, right? So exactly based on all these things, you take a call, right? Okay. Vijay is asking, any particular order is more beneficial which we can attempt? All is, as all subjects have MCQs now. So Vijay, what I can recommend is, as you finish a particular subject, like for example, you finished 3 chapters of that subject today. Simultaneously, it will be good if you could also do the MCQs, so that there is not too much backlog at the end. Because now even ICI has their MCQs on their portal, right? Wherein you can even, there's an app wherein you can log in and you can set whether what is the level, mediocre, high, sorry, medium, high or low, right? The level of difficulty. Plus, you have your Indigo learn questions also. So you have so many things to solve. So what I will recommend is, from this phase only you start dedicating half an hour. Maybe today, if you finish 2 chapters, you could finish those, right? And you also have backlog, like whatever you finished earlier, you can ensure that you start solving them little by little, so that there is not too much in the end, right? Okay. Uh, any more questions? Any one of you? I think, yeah, Varsha had asked about the app, and um, I think someone has already answered. And okay, so this question is done. Even your schedule, you can create your personalized schedule on Indigo Learn also. When you put in your subjects and for the balance days, the schedule would be created that how you can go about with your portion, right? Okay. Any more questions? Any of you all? Okay, I think I'm done with the questions also. Okay. Supriya Bhatta is asking, how can I stop worrying about having uh, time for exams? About, sorry, I can't read your question. 1 minute. Okay, Supriya is asking, how can I stop worrying about having less time for exams? See, Supriya, what I can tell you is you first have your plan ready that how you're going to go about, and set a weekly target, right? And your only aim has to be that I have to achieve that target every day. I have to make my everyday count, right? So if you're able to make every day count, if you achieve your target every day, it will automatically help you increase your confidence level, right? And so don't focus on things which are not in your control. So just focus on things which are completely in your hands, that is today, and getting today right? Whatever target is set, accomplishing it. Okay. Siddesha is asking, uh, she's not able to study consistently because of health issue, and that is creating a lot of stress and procrastination. So, Siddesha, if there is a health issue, or what I can tell you is, I understand that you will not be able to study like others, but you have to set realistic targets for yourself. That how many hours is it possible for you to study, and try to achieve the target. So, Siddesha, again, I'm telling you all the same thing. Please focus on the process and ensure that whatever target you're setting, when you set a target, let it be a very, very achievable target. And once you set a target, try to achieve it. It will automatically help you increase your confidence level. And as your targets are achieved and your portion is over, you write your papers and do the revision, it will help you increase your confidence level drastically, right? uh, Roof is asking that my class is not yet over. Can I write this attempt? See, it depends, Roof, on which, like, how many subjects are still pending, or all subjects you have not done at all. So it completely depends on that. So you could just have an audit, like these are the number of hours video lectures that I have pending. With that, I need to do self study. By when will I complete that? And do I have enough time for revisions? If you think that with all this you will be able to revise also, then yes, you should write this attempt. Okay. Yes, she has, you can, for CMA also, if you have 120 days and you have already finished a lot of your portion. So if you put in your best efforts from now on, and if you make each and every day count, yes, you can give your paper exams. Only thing is, after you have finished, uh, your conceptual understanding, please, revisions and mock tests are applicable to all exams, right? So do ensure you give time to that. Vamsi is asking how to boost self-confidence and esteem. See, self-confidence and esteem, if you are able to achieve your daily targets, it will help you gain a lot of self-confidence. Second, doing revisions and paper writing. When you write papers and you start scoring well in those papers, it will automatically give you a lot of confidence. This confidence can only be achieved with a lot of efforts. When you put in your efforts and you start seeing the results after you write papers, you will see there's a lot of increase in the confidence level. Arjun is asking how many hours of sleep is required at this time. If you need to sleep 7 to 8 hours from now to your exams, please don't compromise on sleep. Instead, make your day more productive instead of reducing the sleep time, right? Because your mind and your body need that rest. Okay. Okay. Any more questions coming up? Okay, I think I have answered all your questions, and I think there are no more questions. So let's wrap up with the session then. Yes? Okay, all of you, all the very best for your exams. Please follow all the tips that I've told you all, right? Very, very simple ones, but very, very effective. Okay, meanwhile, I got one more question. Let me answer that. Vamsi is saying that I cleared my foundation and got the highest marks in my institute, but I'm not confident and thinking that I've passed by luck. See, if you have, actually, you don't get such marks by luck. You had put in a lot of efforts. The only thing is you don't have to be overconfident, right? You have to, whatever, that is good, great that you scored really well, but now you have to focus on inter and getting each day right. So what I'm saying is, Vamsi, set your weekly targets and try to accomplish those targets. Once you do that, it will help you increase a lot of your confidence. Also, as I said, after revision, start writing mock test. It will increase your confidence level drastically, right? And when you start feeling this nervousness and anxiousness or all these negative thoughts, I've already given you all these very, very easy but very effective exercises which will help you be in a great state of mind, right? Okay. Okay, welcome all of you all. Siddesha is saying thanks. Roof is saying thanks. Yeah, welcome so much. Vamsi is saying thank you. Okay. Any more questions? Okay, just a quick summary that please do all the breathing exercise. Like whenever you feel stressed out, these techniques are very effective. Try implementing them. Second, focus on the process. Now, see, if you make each and every day count, your outcome is automatically going to take place. If you make each and every day count, write your best papers, you will get the outcome. Don't spend time on thinking about the outcome. Today, at this stage, the only thing in your hands is today. You don't have anything else in your hands. So what is in my control, I will control that. So just ensure that you make today count. If you make every day count and you write your best exams, you will get the required outcome, right? Okay. Okay, Vijay, I'm so glad you're feeling better and clearer after the session. Welcome, Gautam. Welcome, Vamsi. Welcome, Supriya. Okay, all of y'all, all the very best for exams. And y'all know that, I already run a one-to-one mentorship program on Indigo Learn. So if any of y'all need one-to-one mentoring, always there to help y'all. And study well and take adequate rest, sleep well, and do things to relax your mind, which is needed because when your mind is in your control, with the best resources with you, you will be able to make maximum use of it. Yeah. Okay. All of you, bye. Take care and have a lovely weekend. Study well and all the very best for your May attempt. Bye. Bye bye.